Good evening, internet. Hello, Halakar. It's not snow time. I forgot that we died right at the end of last session. So I've got a different book. I've changed my mind. We're going with something else. I've changed the name of the stream. Yeah, I'm that organized. So I'm aware. Hello, Iman. I have a competitor streaming at the moment. Hello, Lee. That dastardly bear has decided to stream right now, and he's gathered up a lot of regular folks who joined him and completely forgotten I exist. Oh well. We'll have a cozy little stream then. We'll have a cozy stream. Hello, Jean. How are you doing? How are you doing? Which mommy are we cursing? That one. That one. Hello, Fief Keef. How are you? How are you? Well, at least I've got 8 people here, so Bear hasn't taken everybody. He's on one, is he? He's on one. Yeah. Oh, that's Bear for you. That's Bear for you. I do apologise for just whacking my microphone. My drink was tucked behind it. Bear can be very entertaining, though. He is a natural speaker, so doesn't look like a mommy, no boobs. Okay. Yeah. So why the new? But we died, didn't we? At the end on Cavern of the Snow Witch. That's how it ended. I found the sheet from last week, and we was dead. So unless it wasn't the right sheet, but I think it was. Pretty sure it was, and we was deaded. So we'll go with a different one. Because variety is the spice of life, as they say. Variety is most spicy. It's one we haven't played yet, so I thought it would be. Thank you, Mac. Thank you. Glad you've enjoyed them. Glad you've enjoyed them. I did. I said in my in the Discord that you get that feeling of imposter syndrome when you try something new, and I was like, well, why would someone want to listen to me reading a book? But the feedback's been really positive, so thank you, Charles. Yeah, I saw that Pundit and Mr. Max have had a bit of a set too. I get a little frustrated when I see that sort of thing happen, because let me just give him I'm going to get my opinion of Pundit out the way now. Those who don't know have never heard of RPG Pundit. He's a bit of a polarizing figure in the gaming world. He makes old school based games with a historical feel, and he puts a lot of effort into them. They're very, very detailed. So fair play to him for that. But he has sold his brand in the last 6 or 7 years, ranting and raving about cancellations and SJWs did this and rah 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 rah, and he's become a stuck record. And what happens when somebody says something he doesn't like? He flags it all up on Twitter, sends it all over Twitter, and tries to get people to cancel him. So, yeah, Mr. Max said some stupid things, but if you've built your brand on being anti what one side do, why do you then go and act exactly the same way? So I can't agree with what Pundit's done. He's a keyboard warrior. To be honest, I don't vet people's past when they come on my channel. I don't believe in it. That's what cancel culture is all about, and I hate it. If somebody says something I don't like, then my reaction is usually I don't spend any money on their stuff, but I don't go shouting to everybody who'll listen to me on the internet, never buy their stuff, they're assholes, or anything like that, because that's wrong. Just let people make up their own decisions. Anyway, that's it for tonight. That's it for tonight. Right. With that out of my system, and 8 people in chat, which is twice as many as I expected at this time. We've all dived in pretty quickly, which is very nice. Shall we start with Curse of the Mummy? So that's how things are, Wayne. That's how things are. I'm fine. Been at work. It's been the quietest week in the history of my shop, sadly. It's really been bad. So hopefully we'll have a few customers tomorrow. Well, it's sod's law because I'm supposed to be playing in an OSE game from the back of the shop tomorrow. I'm going to be kept busy all afternoon. Yes, I mean, look, I'm not. I hope I haven't dampened the mood. I've just given my opinion on something, and I don't let that sort of thing get at me. To be honest, it's just I just wish people weren't such hypocrites. Anywho, yeah. Let's let's see how much. Hello, Daniel. I saw us pop up to 10, and we get more confrontational when we get older, though, Wayne. I mean, we just get more stuck in our ways, and I know what I like, and I know what I don't like, and let's face it, there we go. You ain't going to change much now. Take me or leave me. Right. This is Curse of the Mummy. Oh, going to Cheltenham tomorrow. Are you prepared to spend a lot of money? Is that what it is? Is it the Cheltenham Festival? Cheltenham Gold Cup or something? Get off my lawn, indeed. I haven't been to horse racing for years and years and years. You got banned from one of your groups for calling out a 60-odd-year-old man who was dating a 26-year-old woman. Look, I'm not against couples with differing ages as long as they're both adults. Half the time, the younger one will be a bit of a gold digger. I'm betting, but my wife is younger than me. So, but she's not 34 years younger than me. I'm 52 and she's 40 something. So I'm not giving her exact age, but she is 40 something. It doesn't mean she's 40. She's older than 40. November meeting. Right. I mean, I went to, when I was at Leeds University, I went to York a few times. I've since been, where was the last place I went to? It's Chepstow. Can't remember where the last place I went to was. It was a stag party. In fact, that might have been Cheltenham. It might have been Cheltenham. Hello, Richard. Have I said hello to you, Jeb? I'm not sure I have, but no. I will say there is 8 years between me and my wife. So there we go. I've given away her age. Yes. And we got together on my 27th birthday. So yes, she was a teenager. And I was 27, 19. There we go. Well, married 3 years later, bought a house, had kids, still together. There you go. Right, let's start reading. It's odd, yes. When there's that sort of gap, it's odd. he's probably just feeling smug about it, and she's probably just diving in his wallet, which never happened with me and my missus because I never had any money. Right. Background. I've got to hang on. I've got to create a character first. Yes. Right. Let's move on. Yes. Skill, stamina, luck. We're talking about ancient history. My missus has never played D&D, and she won't. She won't. No, it's not her thing. Play board games with her. Provisions, GP, and equipment. Lots of things to keep track of in this book. Right, let's get some dice rolling done. Ooh, that's not too bad. That isn't too bad. I should show you these. I don't know if you can see them. We have a 4. One closest to the that side is skill. 2 in the middle, stamina, and the one on the right is luck. So we have 10, 20, 11. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 3, 2 4s, and a 5. Right, so we start with poison. There is a poison stat. If it gets up to 18, we're dead. So if the poison stat gets up to 18, we're dead. We've got a sword, backpack, and 5 gold pieces. No provisions and no lantern. Okay. Make a note of that. Sword and backpack and 5 gold pieces. And that's it. That's it. I knew my great-grandma quite briefly. She died when I was about 6. My great-grandmother, and she was 94 when she died, and that would have been about 1977. So she was born in the 1880s. But that was my great-grandmother. Proper old battle axe, from what I've heard. Okay, here we go. Shall we begin? Facing its twin, Halak, on the other side of the mouth of the Bay of Elcor, Rimon is the capital of the pirate coast. With their ramshackle mazes of streets and twisting alleyways, the 2 ancient towns, perched on the steeply sloping sides of twin mountain peaks, are a haven for buccaneers and renegades. Even the feared pirate captain, Garius of Halak, has his secret hideout somewhere along the coast. It was a crew of these scurvy pirates who attacked the merchantman on which you had gained passage, travelling north from Cain-Leshmar and making for Port Blacksand. Your vessel was sunk, and all on board were left to the mercy of the sea. After several days, you were washed ashore. As far as you know, the only survivor of the wreck, with only your sword and enough money to keep you from starvation for a few days. Finding yourself not far from Rimon, you made your way to the town, hoping to find work guiding a caravan heading north. But you missed the last one to leave for several weeks by only a day. So instead, you tried to find gainful employment that might earn you your passage on another ship heading for Port Blacksand. Then you saw a notice nailed to a wall in the Adventurers Guild. The notice read, "Brave warrior required for dangerous mission into hills around the Desert of Skulls. Great rewards guaranteed. Apply Jeron Farr, the Monkey's Paw." You made some discreet inquiries about this possible employer and discovered that he's an archaeologist of some notoriety. He does not enjoy a very good reputation among the adventuring fraternity of Rimon, and is considered by most to be no better than a tomb robber. However, times are hard, so you decided you had nothing to lose and made your way to the Monkey's Paw, a seedy drinking house in one of the poorer parts of Rimon. yeah. Take your dog for a poo. And then come and join us later. But thanks for knowing that. Thanks for letting us know that. Entering the bar, you find the clientele as shady looking as you would expect, and the landlord looks as if he would cut your throat as soon as serve you a drink. You mention Jaren Farr's name, and with a grunt, the landlord directs you to a man sitting at a table by himself. Jaren Farr, a mustachioed man in his mid-30s, looks as if he too has known his fair share of hardship. He's tanned from days of toil in the baking lands at the edge of the Desert of Skulls, and his sleeveless leather jacket, like the rest of his clothes, is worn and dusty, and he wears a battered, wide-brimmed hat to keep off the sun. Having made your introduction, you sit down opposite the man. I'm just going to take my headset off. Don't need that on. Have you heard the curse of Icarus? Jaren asks. You shake your head. Then I will tell you the legend. Centuries ago, before the drowning of Atlantis by the gods, the three main continents of Titan, Alancia, the Old World, and Kul were all joined together as one massive continent, which early records call Iritaria. At this time, at the southern edge of get my teeth in. Southern edge of what we now know as the Desert of Skulls, there existed a small desert kingdom called Jarrat. The people of Jarrat, who worshipped a whole clutch of animal-headed gods, carried out the practice of mummifying their dead rulers before burying them in great tombs in the mountains, along with fabulous riches. So it's fantasy Egypt. Icarus was the last of the rulers of Jarrat to be buried before the parting of the lands. He favored Cythera, the goddess of evil, above all the other gods of Jarrat, and was the cruelest tyrant the kingdom had ever known. He demanded human sacrifices for his goddess and was said to commune with dark spirits and bring the mummies of his ancestors back to life. When at last he died, poisoned by one of his enemies, he was aged 156. As he lay dying, Icarus called on Cythera, saying that one day he would return and all would suffer under his curse. Plagues of flies, snakes, and scorpions would come upon the land. The daytime sky would be as black as at night, and the cities would be swallowed by the desert. Legend says that he was buried, surrounded by piles of priceless treasures, in one of the most astonishing tombs ever constructed, one which included many terrible death traps. Interesting as all this is, what does it have to do with you wanting to hire a brave warrior for a dangerous mission, you ask the archaeologist. Let me explain, Jaren continues. 5 days ago, I was working at a site on the edge of the rocky hills, bordering Rimon, when a man staggered into my camp. He was terribly dehydrated, suffering from sunstroke, and he looked as if he'd been in a battle. I gave him water and tried to make him as comfortable as possible. As soon as he had recovered a little, he told me what had happened to him. He was part of a group of explorers who'd been investigating the lands at the edge of the desert. He told me that at a ruined temple by an oasis, they uncovered an inscription that revealed the location of the lost tomb of Icarus with all its treasures. They set out to find it at once, but they had not gone very far when they were ambushed by a group of people swathed in red robes that bore the emblem of a golden cobra. The rest of his party were either captured or killed, and he was left for dead. When it was safe, he started the difficult journey back to Rimon to warn the people what was happening, but he only made it as far as my camp. He died the next morning. Absorbed by Jaren's tale, you ask, so who were these red-robed attackers? Members of the cult of the Cobra, he replies. This cult was the priesthood that worshipped Cythera and Jarrat, and they were Icarus's most loyal followers. It has always been their aim to find Icarus's tomb and resurrect their long-dead master so that he could call down his curse upon the land and reclaim his kingdom. The secret sect has been revived in the last decade, and it looks as if the cult of the Cobra have at last found his tomb and are preparing for their king's return. They must be stopped, or all will suffer the curse of Icarus. I need one brave warrior to accompany me and infiltrate the cult without their knowing, to thwart their evil plans. If you will help me, and should we succeed, the treasures of the tomb will be our reward. Of course I will help you carry out your plan, you say. The possible riches to be found in the tomb could make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. But more important than that, the cult must be stopped from bringing such an evil back into the world. There is no time to lose. You both leave the monkey's paw immediately to prepare for your quest. The pair of you have not gone far along a narrow back street on your way towards the markets of Rimon when a figure covered from head to toe in fine red robes drops silently from the top of a wall to the ground in front of you, and a harsh hissing voice behind you says, "Not So fast, Jaron Farr. Turn to paragraph 1. You spin around to see 2 more people dressed in the same manner as the first, only their eyes visible between the swathes of red cloth. Their robes bear the emblem of a rearing golden cobra. They must be members of Akaris's evil cult. Each of the cultists is armed with a long curved sword, and an assortment of other silent death weapons hangs from their belts. They must have discovered that the explorer survived their attack, and they followed his trail to my camp, Jaron whispers under his breath. And from there, they must have followed me to Rimon. What shall we do? Okay, you have a picture, a little bit of artwork. It's not terrible art, not totally inspiring, but not terrible. We have options. So, chat, do we attack the leader of the cults, draw our sword and stand our ground, or do we try to escape? So attack the leader, stand our ground, or run away. There you go. You have some choices. I'm just going to finish off my cola as I have a couple of beers here. Nicely chilled. Jeb says escape, and Jean reckons stand ground. So we've got escape, stand ground. 3 for stand ground so far. 1 for escape. Daniel says hold. Leader. Richard reckons it stands ground. Why is it stands? Has he bought it? Gene's on his 3rd beer. That doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, Gene, at all. Hello, Mark's Genre Mixer. Who art thou, Mark's Genre Mixer? Are you new to the channel? It's just that your name, even if that's your original name, it's quite apt, because I'm always chuntering about mixing genres. I don't like having sci-fi in my fantasy and all that sort of stuff. So you have to excuse me for wondering if you're one of the regulars who's just adopted another name just to troll me. But if you are new to the channel, that is your general name, then welcome. Like the little icon though of a food mixer. I'll happily think about. I chunter about genre mixing, but I like to put a bit of horror in my fantasy from time to time. I like horror games. Ah, right. Okay, you know Omanal pretty well. Ah, okay. So you know Omanal's ability to talk. And talk. And talk. And talk. Omanal, he's a good sort though, Omanal is. He just has a lot to say about absolutely everything. Right, looks like we're standing our ground. Bet I don't like Reese's then. As in the American chocolates. Which it's a bit of an oxymoron for me with American and chocolate. America does other food fine, but just doesn't do chocolate well at all. Do I ever get trolls on these book readings? Yeah. Occasionally. Look, I don't mind the peanut butter cups. I've got used to the idea of peanut butter. Hello, Straw Piglet. I don't mind friendly trolling, to be honest. Justin sometimes comes in and intentionally picks things that are going to get us killed. And we have the old argumentative L in here from time to time. You got your, but the thing is with Reese's peanut butter, it's not really chocolate, is it? It's not proper chocolate. But I don't mind chocolate with peanut butter. I quite like. Clip this now. I quite like nuts. If I go to Canada next year, and I probably almost certainly will, I will take some British chocolate with me if I'm allowed to, because apparently over your side of the Atlantic, you just don't get good chocolate. The American chocolate I've tried has been pretty rancid. So I bring some Galaxy across or something. Okay, so we are standing our ground. 68. Fortunately, since you're standing back to back in the narrow street, only one cultist can attack each of you at a time. You prepare to defend yourself against the cult leader. Right. We're going to be blue dice. Bad guy's going to be orange dice. There are different shades of blue for our ones, but they're blue. That's rather pretty. That's rather nice. That nice marbling effect. I do like that one. That's my other blue one. It's got a marbly effect on it as well. Right, we've got skill of 10. Well, very nicely. It's got a skill of 7. Belgian chocolate's good. Swiss chocolate's nice as well. 9-6. 5-7. Still a win for us. 12-8. One more. 6-7. Yeah, we've taken it out in straight rounds. What's Girardelli? I remember there was a footballer called Girardelli. I think he played for Italy. Okay, so Girardelli. So we just hear about Hershey's over here, don't we? Because that's the big name. But you might have, say, smaller chocolate companies who actually do produce decent chocolate. It's just that Hershey's seem to corner the market. As your opponent falls, so does Geran's. Before you can stop him, the third cultist turns tail and flees towards the markets. What will you do now? Do we pursue the cultist and try and stop him before we can warn the rest of the sect? Do we leave Rimon immediately with the intention of heading the cultist off on the way to the tomb, or shall we just ignore him and visit the markets? So, pursuit, leave town, or go to market. I've never tried Hershey's, to be honest. I've heard so many bad things about it. I don't feel the need to try it because our chocolate over here has actually, I don't think it's quite as good as it used to be, but it's still decent. Okay, Iman, looks like you've been heavily outvoted here. Everybody is saying pursue, apart from Iman. Iman's got no friends. Iman, no mates. Pursue the cultist. Okay, 394. You chase along the back street after the cultist, but lose him among the hustle and bustle of an animal market. Then you catch sight of a red-robed figure on the opposite side of the square moving away from you. As you elbow your way through the crowd, you see a trader's cage swing open, and with a roar, its occupant leads into the crowd. As the throng of people vanishes, you and Far find yourselves alone in the middle of the square, facing the newly escaped Black Lion. Angry at having been locked up in a confined space and confused by its unnatural surroundings, the beast strikes Far with one great paw, knocking him to the ground. You have no choice now but to try to stop the enraged animal. Okay, we're straight into another fight. 2 fisticuffs already. This one's a bit tougher. This has got 9. 9 skill. So we've only got a 1 point advantage on skill. And it's beaten us on the first round. 5-12. 9-2, we've won the second round. 7-8, that's a tie. 9-7, we've won that round. We should have the advantage. 9-4, dice going with us. 11-3, dice are very much going with us. The orange dice have been evil. And we finish it with 5-5. As we have a 1 point advantage, we win. That's good. That's good. Cadbury's got bought by Kraft, and now it's Mondelez who own them. Yes, it did go down a little bit downhill after. They're putting the chocolates in our country as well. They're getting smaller. Smaller. I don't have a problem with it getting smaller because it's been about 8 to 10 years since I developed my issue with milk, so I don't mind a little bit less milk. I can at least still have chocolate. As the Black Lion slumps to the ground, a great cheer goes up from the onlookers. Jeran is not badly wounded, but because you were distracted at having to fight the deadly beast, the cultist has got away. You will now have to try to head him off on the way to the tomb, or give up the chase and visit the markets. Okay, so go to the tomb straight away, or go to the markets to prepare. Market or tomb? Yeah. Oh, no doubt, Imam, no doubt. And they'll frame them as having fewer calories and less fat because they're smaller. Looks like you chaps want to go shopping. But Richard. Richard has to be different. There's a point, Straw Piglet. Yeah. Beef jerky has become a meme playing these books. I'm sure we won't be able to buy beef jerky. I'm sure we won't. I do remember the round 2 and 3 litre Coke bottles, yes. Now, isn't it 1.5 litres for the same price? Market it is then. 112. Okay. Okay, here we go. Quickly exploring Rimon's markets, you soon discover what the many stalls have to offer. Jeran Far hands you a bag containing 30 gold pieces. Okay, so we have 35. and leaves it to you to decide what bit may be the most useful items on your quest. Read through the list of items described below, and if you buy anything, deduct the appropriate number of gold pieces and record the item on your adventure sheet. You may only buy one of any item on this list unless you are told otherwise. Okay. We can get rope and grappling hook, 3 gold pieces. Any number of provisions, 1 gold piece per meal. Lantern and oil, lantern 2 gold pieces, 1 gold piece per oil refill. A healing draft, which has 3 doses and will restore us to half of your initial. Restore stamina points equivalent to half of your initial score. So it will restore 10 stamina points each time, but 5 gold pieces each. Anti-poison. When drunk, this potion will reduce your poison total by 4 points. Brass telescope. Finely crafted telescope, 5 gold pieces. Fire powder. When lit, within a few seconds, the package will explode, doing 1d6 damage to any enemies. Cost 4 gold pieces. A torch. Useful as a light source or a flaming weapon. 1 gold piece per torch. Also, there are several merchants who look as though they've done very well for themselves from the trade and try to tempt you into inspecting their slightly more unusual and more expensive wares. So that's a list of all the stuff, and we also have the option to see other merchants for more expensive things. So choose wisely, chat. Choose wisely. Okay, so rope is popular. We've got 35 gold pieces to spend. So there was rope and grappling hook, provisions, lantern and oil, healing potion, anti-poison potion, telescope, fire powder, torch, or more expensive stuff. We can have a look, but it does say if you have any money left and then want to have a look at what they have to offer, turn to 15. So we might not get to come back to this one. In fact, that would be naughty if we didn't come back. I'm going to have a little look to see if we can come back. No. No. Right. If we bought one of everything, it would be 4, 7, 12, 21, 26 for one of everything. That's 1 meal, 1 healing potion, 1 anti-poison, 1 usage of fire powder, 1 torch, 1 oil refill on the lantern. So, yeah, it's going to be so Jeb's got like a D&D style shopping list there. Rope, grappling hook, lamp oil, anti-poison, fire powder, 3 torches. Yeah, I mean, most people are saying to go for rope, lantern, anti-poison, and torches. That seems to be popular. But it is up to you. No 10-foot pole. No, sadly. And there's no iron spikes either. So we can't jam doors. Right. I can start a beer now. It's fire powder. Yes, it's fire powder. Let's see what this beer's like. My brother-in-law bought me some American beers. So I'm trying them. The one the other night was a bit... Yeah, it looks a bit thin to me. Does he not like me? It's just cool cans, look. The cans look good. Beavertown neck oil. It's beer. I'm not a fan of lager, and this certainly doesn't taste like a lager, which is good. It doesn't taste enough like an ale. This one is 4.3%, so it's moderate, medium. It's not piss water. It's not as bad as Budweiser or something like that. Right, so rope and grappling hook. Right, Jeb has just said, has mentioned a P word. This is one of my pedantic moments. Pitons or pythons, whatever you want to call them, pitons, it's a French word, piton, were invented around the turn of the 20th century. So you can't get them in D&D. No. Iron spikes. Let's have a little look. Piton. So we're definitely getting a rope and grappling hook. That's cost us 3 gold pieces. We're definitely getting a vial of anti-poison. That cost us 4 gold pieces. So that's 7. That reduce poison by 4. We definitely a lantern and some oil. Rope and hook come together. Beef jerky, I'm guessing, is provision. Look, we're going to get one lot of provisions. We're going to need it. I've made that decision. 1 provisions. 3 torches. Do we need 3 torches? Really? I don't know. What else is there? Lantern and oil. Oh, yeah. I think lantern and oil makes sense. That's cost us 3. 1 oil. So we've got 24 left. Fire powder? Fire powder, yes or no? It doesn't mention anything about burn time. Healing potion? Says the wife. Oh, there goes my light source. They're asking me how long the light source lasts in the game, and you've turned the light off in the room. Not long then. No. Right. Yeah. I mean, there's healing draft, fire powder, telescope, more provisions. Yes. A torch in Britain is what you'd call a flashlight, but obviously these are oldie worldy torches. As I intentionally pronounce ye oldie completely wrong. Yeah, I mean, I don't see us needing more than one torch, but I'm going to compromise and go for 2 torches. Anything more from this list now, or do you want me to go to the posh list? Because we've got 22 gold pieces left. Shall we go to the posh list? Yeah, let's have a vote on that. Posh list, yes or no? Thief Keith says telescope, and he wants fire powder. He wants fire powder as well. So Thief Keith is voting for more from this list. Yeah, I knew it was around the turn of the 20th century. So 1893 or 1910. Thus, Piton aren't going to be in a D&D world. And I'm the sort of person who would go into a rule book and cross that word out and spoil my book. $14.92 is okay then. So only Thief Keith wants more things on this list. Everyone else is saying go to the posh list. So it's Thief Keith's turn to be outvoted. Right. Okay, look at the posh list. Thief Keith says the gritted teeth. Okay, between them, the merchants have some very interesting items for sale. What's left on the old list? Healing potion, brass telescope, fire powder. They're pretty much the only things we didn't have. Maybe, we shall see. But this is what we've got here. Oil of lotus, 4 gold pieces. 2 yoka eggs, 6 gold pieces. A sandworm's tooth, 6 gold pieces. An alabaster scarab, 7 gold pieces. Or a crystal pyramid, 5 gold pieces. Any of those. Oil of lotus. We've got 22 gold pieces left. So we could, in theory, get 3 of these. Maybe even 4. Oil of lotus, 2 yoka eggs, sandworm's tooth, an alabaster scarab, or a crystal pyramid. Let's have one round of voting on what to get first. We can read about them after we've chosen what we buy. So 2 people are voting for the crystal pyramid. 5 gold pieces. But yeah, you can't try before you buy. You buy and then you find out. It's the Lotus Stygian. As in the abyss. Egg Yoka eggs. YOKKA. There is no return policy, Richard. Yes, it's buyer beware. Caveat emptor. yeah, all over the place in terms of votes. Gene needs another pair. Okay, so I'm going to have to write this down. See what gets eggs, tooth. Nobody wants a tooth. Scarab or crystal. Let's have a little look at what these votes have been. Thief Keith goes for the crystal pyramid. Iman says crystal pyramid. Jeb went for lotus water. Mark went for the scarab. Gene says pyramid. Straw Piglet wants to get two things, lotus and eggs. Halakar says the scarab. Iman's going for three things, lotus, scarab, and pyramid. Okay. It's an alabaster scarab. Right. Crystal pyramid has won. That's the first thing we go for. Then the scarab and the lotus were the next most popular. Hello, Manfred. So 5 gold pieces. Cost us 5 gold pieces. So we've now spent 18 and 209. I'll read 209 to you. The small pyramid has been carved out of a piece of quartz crystal. It refracts the light from the sun inside it into a myriad of colors. Now return to 15. So we have a crystal pyramid. Oil of lotus, 155. Extracted from the white lotus flower, this oil is clear and sweet smelling and is non-combustible. There's also not very much of it. Okay. Non-combustible. That's clearly something to know. And the scarab is 7 gold pieces. Turn to 41. The scarab, carved from a lump of veined alabaster, is actually an ancient lucky charm. Whenever you're instructed to test your luck, you may deduct 1 from the roll. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's good. That's good. It's a bonus to luck. So we've got 6 gold pieces left. Do we go for the yucca eggs or the sandworm's tooth, both being 6 gold pieces? Or do we keep the money and go on with 6 gold pieces? Up to you, fellas. Spend on eggs, spend on tooth, or keep the money and run. Okay. We're leaning towards the eggs. Jeb and Iman say tooth. Everyone else has said eggs so far. Richard just wants to leave. Could do, yeah. 5 votes for eggs, 2 for the tooth, and 1 for leaving. Eggs are a clear leader. Okay. 2 Yoka eggs it is. Two Yoka eggs. Okay. That is all of our gold gone. Yoka eggs. Turn to 291. Yeah. Well, everyone else has decided to spend, Richard. In the language of the pygmy tribesmen of the jungles of southern Arantis, Yoka means sun. According to their lore, Yoka eggs are laid by fabulously rare Yoka birds. The birds fly down from the sun to lay their eggs on the cool earth, and what hatches from these eggs resembles a ball of fire. You may throw an egg at an opponent at the start of a battle. If you test your skill successfully, it will hit, break open, and release the Yoka bird, which will burn your enemy, causing damage to his stamina equal to 1d6. So it's better than the exploding powder. Okay. And we got 2 uses. So they are grenades. Cool. We set out on a quest. Which D&D module had grenades in it? There's a question for you. Which AD&D module had grenades? All sorts of grenades. Things that acted like grenades. Well, if they're in S3, then I don't know about them. I was thinking of a different one. Yes, one of the Oasis ones. It was I3 Pharaoh, which had palm trees which dropped exploding fruit, but the whole room was in reverse gravity, so it was quite odd. And it is one worth playing. Leaving Rimon, Jeran Far and yourself set out round the steep Uron heights before turning north. As you walk, Jeran shows you a crude map of the area around the southern edge of the Desert of Skulls and points to a sketch of an oasis next to a temple. I was able to get the location of the temple from the explorer before he died, but not that of the tomb, says Jeran. But if we can find the temple, we should find the inscription that reveals the whereabouts of the tomb. I've also heard rumors of a shaman who lives in the rocky hills to the east at a place called Spirit Rock. If we could find him, he may be able to help us in our quest. However, we'll leave the choosing of the way until it becomes necessary. After 2 days of walking, during which time you must eat 2 meals or lose 2 stamina points for each meal missed. We only bought 1 lot of provisions and we can't eat the eggs. So we lose 2 stamina points and we've eaten our provisions. You reach the site of Jeran's camp. Here he has hidden a tent and bedrolls. So at dusk you settle down for a night under canvas. You're awoken several hours later by an ominous clacking sound coming from somewhere close to the tent. There's a sudden scuttling. Then you hear Jeran cry out. In an instant, you're outside the tent, and in the moonlight, you see the archaeologist struggling in the grip of a huge pincer belonging to a 3-meter-long monstrosity covered in shiny black armor. The giant scorpion's sting rears up over its back as large as a man's head. As you watch, the deadly sting of the overgrown arachnid lashes forward and strikes Jeran in the chest, and the man stops struggling at once. I initially thought he was waving at us then, but now you can see the pincer. I thought he was going, hi! You run at the scorpion, and strike its claw. Releasing its grip on Jeran's body, the grotesque creature turns to attack you. Oh, right, okay. Okay. Each claw can attack independently. So it says the scorpion has a skill of 8, but it says each claw attacks independently with a skill of 10. Okay. Great. So this is a really rough fight to start. It's got the same. We have to fight. Two skill 10 claws and attempt to do 10 points of damage to the main body of the scorpion. Hello, Hungar. You're right. I have a disabled Nightbot. I should have disabled Nightbot. Yeah. Look what this bot I loaded. Its settings are too strict. So if anybody posts in capitals, they get a message. It's a little bot that I've added to the channel. I need to adjust the settings on it, and I should have done earlier, but when I got home from work, I went onto Hungar's stream and chatted away, then had some food and completely forgot. Yes, everyone's getting them now. I'm gonna disable that all caps thing. Right. Okay, so let's fight the scorpion. Well, the first round we've got 8. We've done damage. We have to go up against the second one, which has wounded us. This could be a very short adventure. 8-6. Ooh, we've beaten both claws on the second round. That's very lucky. I rolled 11. Oh no. Oh no. I've rolled double 6 for the scorpion. The scorpion dexterously evades your defenses, grabs you in one of its claws, and its sting whips forward. Its normally fatal poison is injected into your bloodstream, but fortunately you have built up a resistance to such toxins. Oh, adds 4 points to our poison total and does 3 points of stamina damage. But we have managed to wound it on that round. Eight, and another 8. Next round is all a tie. This is proven to be quite painful. Oh dear. 4-4. It's wounded us. We're down to 9 stamina already. 8-4. We've wounded it. It hasn't hit us. 6-6 and 7. 8-8 and 11. Right, we're down to 5 stamina. This is looking terrible. This is looking terrible. 7-7 and 4. Okay, we've got 5 stamina left. And we've got no means of healing ourselves. How long is this going to last? 10 to 3, 4, 5. It's a rough one for combat. Rough one for combat. As the giant scorpion twitches its last, you run over to help Jeran. He's barely alive. This is the end for me. Oh, hold on. No, because I haven't adjusted the settings. The command ! Hungar It's still not operational. That's a YouTube thing. That is a YouTube thing. So I'm gonna change the spelling of nuts, I think, to NUTZ and see if that works. He's barely alive. This is the end for me, he gasps. But you must go on. Stop the cult of the cobra and beware the curse of Icarus. With that, the brave archaeologist dies. The next morning, you bury Jeran Far, marking the grave with his old battered hat, offering a prayer to the gods for his departed soul. At the same time, you swear to do all you can to stop the evil sect and prevent Icarus' return. Taking Jeran's map with you, you set off again, heading north. By mid-morning, your path is becoming gradually steeper as it leads you into the rocky foothills of the mountains which border the Desert of Skulls. You continue to follow the dusty trail as it turns towards the North Road. A few kilometers on, standing at the top of a ridge, you see that several semicircular tiers of stone seats have been cut out at the base of a hillside in front of a raised platform and a low rectangular stone building. Close to the seemingly deserted site, the fallen pillars... Oh, my light has just played up. Fallen pillars and... Actually, I can't see very well. There we go. Oh, so my light bulb has become loose. There's my light bulb. Let's try that again. Close to the seemingly deserted site lie fallen pillars and the remains of walls. Do you want to descend the hillside and investigate the ruins, or would you rather continue on your way? Investigate the ruins or continue on our way? I'll try and fix my light. Ow, it's hot. That's better. I don't know why that had come loose. Yeah, I think it looks like Indiana Jones has just passed away, doesn't it?
What? Harrison Ford?
No, Harrison Ford hasn't died. Jeran Far, my companion in the book, has died, and he was very Indiana Jones-like. No, Indiana. Jeran Far in this book is clearly based on Indiana Jones. Clearly. I haven't seen it, Richard. I've seen all the other ones, so I do watch some films. Who's Kentucky Jones? I have no idea who Kentucky Jones is. What's that, Beck?
I think.
I've no idea what Kentucky Jones is. I think my wife might know.
I really don't.
You really don't? Oh, it's a joke, a bad one. Okay, yeah, Indiana, Kentucky. Yeah, okay. I thought it might be some bad budget version of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Until I said Colonel Sanders.
Oh, he said Colonel Sanders. Right, okay. If you just said North Dakota Jones, I would have realised what you're on about. Mrs. Geek is not joining the stream now. No.
I'm not Mrs. Geek.
She says, I'm not Mrs. Geek. Yes, Iman, you can now be a dad, having made that dad joke, yes. Right, so we are investigating the ruins. 277. You scramble down the slope until you are standing in the... I just want to show you, there's loads and loads of little pictures like that in there, which are really nice. Really, really nice. You scramble down the slope until you are standing in the sandy arena in front of the platform. The facade of the low building is decorated with the busts of people. Not that sort of bust. Or possibly of gods standing in recessed alcoves. He tried to tell a joke on stream and no one laughed. He's not even remotely funny. Psh! Ha ha. Oh, there's a voice. Who dares trespass in the theatre of the gods? The booming voice makes you jump almost out of your skin in surprise. The words echo around among the empty tiers of the seats, but the voice itself seems to be coming from a dark doorway in front of the building. What will we do? Right. Do we apologize for trespassing? Do we demand that the owner of the voice shows himself? Do we say nothing and approach the doorway? Or do we just leave the theatre of the gods? So apologize, demand he shows himself, say nothing and approach the doorway, or leave the theatre. Those are your choices, chat. Who dares trespass in the theatre of the gods? Need Bear to do that. He's got a deeper voice than me. It is I, Anubis. Kentucky Jones was an American TV series which centered around a widowed Southern Californian veterinarian and a rancher raising an adopted Chinese boy. Ran from 1964 until 1965. There you go. We've all learned something. Well, that was the dog then. Oh, she's on the bed. Hello, puppy dog. So we are demanding. We did have the occasional vote for pay no attention, but demand that he shows himself. Reveal yourself. A short figure suddenly appears in the open doorway. The man is dressed in plain grey robes and is wearing a mask with grotesquely exaggerated features. I am the great Crano, master of 1,000 roles, possessor of 1,000 guises, the little man booms. What we're going to do? Ask Crano for his help, attack him, or just leave? Oinking is not an option, Manfred. I've got to try and get my chair in the right position. It's better. It's better. Mark reckons we apologise, but everybody else reckons we ask for help. Oh, Mark, apologising was previous, so it looks like your stream might be a minute or two behind. Check your lagging. Check your lagging. So asking Crano for his help. It happens if you pause or test your luck. Okay. Oh, we've got the luck bonus thing, which is very handy because I've rolled very high. But that has helped. We have passed as a result. If you're lucky, turn to 167. We should have bought more food. What help do you require? The man asks. Will you ask whether he can aid you in any way on your quest, or ask him what he knows of the shaman? So, ask for aid on the quest, or ask him specifically about the shaman. Scarab for the win, indeed. Quest or shaman? Quest or shaman? Shaman. Aid on the quest. 3 votes though for shaman so far, and 1 for just the quest in general. Oh, we're now at 3-3. All right, all level, and oinking is not an option. Again, 4-3 for aid on the quest now. Only half the people in chat have voted, so I am going to give another minute or two for people to make their minds up or reveal themselves from their lurking situation. What are you chuckling at?
That's fine.
Hmm?
That's fine.
So still 4-3. 4-4 now. Lee has leveled it. In the meantime, yeah, you wink at them. Just don't do it all in capitals because Nightbot will shout. Straw Piglet says General. Okay. Cheers, Halakar. Tomorrow is your last live game of the year. That's a shame. You do need to try and jump into some of my Saturday games, Halakar, because I mean, you've been part of. Daniel, you're lurking. Halakar, you've been one of the channel stalwarts for a long time, and you really need to join in a game sometime with us. Okay, so General. $339. You give Crano a brief outline of your mission without revealing too many important details. Indeed, I may, he says, removing the mask and revealing himself to be middle-aged, grey-haired, and balding. Indeed, I may, he says, removing the mask and revealing himself to be somebody from my channel. That description fits most people who get involved with this. Yes, middle-aged, grey-haired, and balding. At least I'm 2 of those things. Still never had a grey hair. Just haven't got much hair left. He leads you through a doorway into the stone building, You find yourself in a long room full of pieces of faded scenery and other theatrical props. You know, I used to be one of the greatest actors a Lancia has ever seen, Crano says. I played all the great parts. Duke Merion of Calmahair, Quor the Sorcerer, Vorga the Pirate Lord. You understand? I mean, no harm really, what with the mask and the dramatic voice. I just prefer to spend my retirement away from unappreciative audiences. You were startled to see a huge saber-toothed tiger pad over to the actor and lick his hand. Don't mind Cleomina, Crano adds. She's perfectly loyal. Anyway, about my aiding you, I've collected a number of interesting pieces. I would gladly swap some trinket you may possess for 2 of these items. Crano would like any one of the following: brass telescope, a healing draft, oil of lotus, or a crystal pyramid. In return, you may choose 2 items from the list below if you decide to trade. Okay, so do we want to trade our crystal pyramid and our oil of lotus for any 2 of the following: a papyrus scroll, a carved bone horn, an old lamp, a statuette of a god, a large bronze key, or a sealed black bottle? Well, you haven't got the choice of trading one. It's trade 2 or trade none. So it's the crystal pyramid and the oil of lotus for any 2 of the papyrus scroll, carved bone horn, old lamp, statuette of a god, large bronze key, or sealed black bottle. And there goes the dog. See you, missed. She thinks I've called her back. Hello, doggy. So we've got trade for statuette and bottle, statue and bottle, and key and bottle. Okay. Key and scroll. Okay. Everybody vote for 2 items. And we've got statue, key, bottle, scroll. Votes so far. Oh, thank you, Richard. Thank you very, very much. Most generous. Enjoy whatever you're doing on this Friday evening, and I'll see you on a stream in future. Thank you. So we've got key and bottle, statue and bottle, statue and bottle, scroll and key, key and scroll, statue and bottle, so at the moment we're on 2 scrolls, 3 statues, 3 keys, 4 bottles. Anyone else want to vote? Any 2 of the following: papyrus scroll, curved bone horn, old lamp, statuette of a god, large bronze key, or sealed black bottle. At the moment the bottle is in the lead, but the statue and the key are tied for second, and the scroll is in 3rd place. But we are going to need some more votes. So the scroll and key. Okay. Well, that choice takes us to 4 keys, 4 bottles, 3 statues, 3 scrolls. So we're on key and bottle at the moment. Anybody else wishes to add to this? Make sure make sure you give Richard some support on his channel as well. He's trying to start up a bit of a YouTube thing, and he's got when I last looked 250 something subs. I'll next check when he next to the video. Nice to see his channel is starting to grow. A few of our other regulars have got channels as well. I don't think anybody who's in here tonight. If you've got a channel on YouTube and I haven't given you a shout out and you're in chat, give yourself a shout out. So shout out your channel. So I lose track of who's got channels and who hasn't. Oh yes, Iman, you uploaded your first video last week. So anyone wants to shout out their channel, do so. Do so. Feel free. You might get a few new subs. And new subs are always good. Okay, we're gonna we have traded. We've got rid of the Crystal Pyramid and the Oil of Lotus, and we have the Bronze Key, and we have the Sealed Black Bottle. All right. Large. Get me taken. Descriptions of the two items. There's nothing remarkable about the key, and Crano tells you he has never found a lock that it fits. Okay, and the sealed black bottle, 265. The small round bottle is full of what appears to be a swirling black smoke, giving it colour. The glass stopper is sealed with hard baked clay. If you ever want to break the seal and open the bottle, turn to 398. Okay. There we go. Very possible, yeah, very possible. After meandering through barren, rocky hills, the track descends through a boulder-strewn pass and divides one branch, continuing northeastwards, while the other leads directly towards a line of several high peaks in the east. Looking at Jaron's map, you see that the route you are now on goes towards the temple, while the new path to the right should take you to the shaman at Spirit Rock. Okay, so will we continue northeastwards, or will we take the right-hand fork towards Spirit Rock? So northeast or right? Yes, to become a YouTube millionaire requires a lot of views. A lot of views. I think it's 500 million video watches on videos with ads will be about right. About 500 watches earns about £1 on average, maybe a little less than £1. So yes, the Cthulhu reading video, which I did last week, which I probably spent about 5-6 hours to make just that short video. Has earned me 8 pence so far. Yeah. 8 pence. Over history. Yeah, it's over history. It's over time. It takes a long time to get 500 million views. It's roughly 1,000 views to earn £2. Yeah. My most successful videos were very successful before I was monetized. I've got 2 or 3 videos that would have earned me about £20 now, but they're the ones that actually gained me traction to the channel in the first place. So they had their peak before I was monetized, which is sod's law. I should make and sell arcane Cthulhu artifacts. How? I have no practical artistic skill whatsoever. I can copy maps in an okay manner. That's it. A beer between about £3 and £4.50, depending on where you go and what you have. Roughly, that's if you buy it in a pub. You get it's about £1 a can for most places. A decent beer is about £2 a bottle. If you're buying it from a supermarket, it'd be twice that in a pub. Yes, more money off donations and memberships than for the views for the time. Yes, that's exactly right. Exactly right.
Can you do me in a minute? Can you do me in a minute? Huh? Oh.
Okay, most people, almost everybody has said northeast and ignore the about 3,500 views to get a pint. You're not far off. I think more like 2,000 views to a pint. I think ish. 3,500 views is about £7. Like my channel gets about 1,000 views a week on average, which I'm quite happy with. Quite happy. Okay, 146. You've got to find that thing that goes viral, though, haven't you? And you only do that by being really controversial and riling people up and making people shout at you. But it gets interaction, which I don't want to annoy my regulars who are used to me not winding people up on there. So, trudging through the desolate landscape, you are alone except for a solitary bird riding the warm thermals above the hills. After an hour, you hear the sound of hoofs in the distance behind you. Turning around, you can make out a cloud of dust approaching from the southwest. As it gets closer, you can see that riding towards you on a gaunt, haggard steed is a tall, thin man wearing scraps of armor and carrying a battered wooden shield and a wooden lance. He's accompanied by a short, round man riding a mule. You cannot avoid these 2 peculiar characters, so you wait for them to come up to you. "Halt, stranger," the tall man hails you. He's wearing a dented helmet and is sporting a drooping grey moustache and pointed beard. He also looks well on in years. "What are you doing in this region?" he asks, almost accusingly. You tell him that you're on a vital mission and that time is of the essence. Test your luck. 7. Our luck is 10. 7 becomes a 6. We pass easily. Our luck now drops to 9. I'm not going to do what Pundit does. No. I too am on the quest of the utmost importance, he says grandly. I am Don Juan Fernandez, a knight of Bastille, and this is my manservant Gordo. The tubby man nods and wipes the sweat from his forehead with a grimy handkerchief. I have sworn to rid these wild and desperate lands of the foul giants who dwell here, preying on the honest village folk of this province, he continues. Tell me, have you seen any such monsters on your wanderings? When you shake your head, Don Juan looks downcast and disappointed. Fear not, I'm sure that my quest will soon be over, and with its completion I shall win my lady's hand. Fare you well. With that, the eccentric knight gallops off again towards the northeast, with the mule bearing his manservant trotting along behind, leaving you to continue your journey on foot. Yes. Any windmills? The terrain grows progressively more tortuous as you make your way towards the ruined temple. At midday, you rest briefly to avoid being out in the open during the hottest part of the day, but by mid-afternoon you are walking between steep cliffs and high stacks of rock. Gradually, the sound of a struggle reaches your ears from somewhere to the west between the rocks. Do we want to investigate the struggle, or do we ignore the struggle? Investigate or ignore? Itchy nose. Who's playing the OSE game tomorrow afternoon? Manfred's in my MERP game in the evening. We're playing OSE tomorrow afternoon, and it looks like, is it Gingerbeard's going to run it, or is it Jean going to run it? I can't remember. They were bickering about it. You're running it, Jean. Okay. All right. I know the pair of you were bickering there about it, but you've come to an agreement. Okay. Oh, Gingerbeard's running it. Ah, you're playing. Right. I'm going to be at work, and as it's been the quietest ever week in the shop that I can remember, it's bound to be a busy Saturday. So I'll have the microphone on. It'd be unlikely. I'll probably be hearing a lot of ding-dongs in the background. MERP is starting at 7 o'clock our time, which is 8 o'clock for you, and variable times in America. You're heading towards, what's the name of the town? Oh, why can't I ever remember the names in Middle-earth? Any town names I ever remember are Minas Tirith and Bray. I can't remember any of the other town names. It's useless. I've only drawn about 3 maps for this town and done all sorts of things and read it multiple times. I can't remember the name of it. Yes, I'll be in the shop tomorrow. For those who know Middle-earth, it's the town, if you go due south from Bray and reach the Red Way, which goes from east to west, from Sarnford to Tharbad, it's the town that's close to that junction. Metreth. Correct. You're lurking there, Duralumin. You're lurking. Or have you just joined us? Yes. Duralumin is one of our MERP players, along with Manfred. But, thank you for reminding me. Duralumin is an encyclopedia on the world of Middle-earth. A useful font of knowledge. Ah, you've been lurking. You've been found out. Right, we're going to investigate, see what's going on. Right. Investigate, turn to 372. Yeah, Metreth is the town. Scrambling over the rocks, you come upon an open space in the Boulder Stream wilderness. Lying on the ground on his back is Don Juan Fernandez, and standing over him is a grotesque 3-meter tall humanoid. Its lumpy skin is colored sandy brown, and it is naked except for a loincloth made of animal hides. In one huge hand it carries a great wooden club embedded with chunks of flint, but it is its face that fills you with dread. The monstrosity has just one large eye in the center of its forehead and an ugly horn sprouting from the top of its skull. Fernandez is fending off the Cyclops with what remains of his shattered lance. Lying close by is the motionless body of Fernandez's steed, while you can see his cowardly manservant hiding in a crevice in the rocks. You do not give much for the old knight's chances surviving this battle. So, what shall we do? Draw our sword and run to his defense? Try to distract the Cyclops, or leave Fernandez to his fate? So, do we draw our sword and run to their defense? Do we try to distract the Cyclops, or do we leave Fernandez to his fate? Thief Keith says distract. Whisper, 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 whisper. You're whispering. So 3 for distract and 2 for stabbage. Any more votes? 3 for distract and 2 for stabbage. Do we have any more who are going to vote? Any more? No more? I apologize for my facial expressions. Okay, I'm going to try and distract them. 181. If you have some fire powder, or a Yocker egg, you can use either of them to distract the Cyclops. Yeah? Yocker egg? Yocker egg? Anyone doesn't want to use a Yocker egg, say now. Because we have 2 of them. Yeah, egg him. Egg him. Okay. Test your skill. Yes. Double 2. It's a pass. And if you are successful, reduce its stamina by the appropriate. No, sorry, we haven't got any powder. Didn't get any powder. Oh, we've done 4 points of damage. Okay, so 4 points of damage. Turns to 248. Right, so we've done 4 points. Oh, ow, ow. I think we might die here. This could be the end of the stream. Right, we're in a very even fight. We have skill 10 and stamina 5. Oh, he's got 5 points of stamina left. The Cyclops has skill 10 and stamina 6. This could be the end. Are you ready? Come on, blue dice. We lose the first round for 11. Don't let us down now. $3.10. Okay. The blue dice have turned when we need them. 4, 4, 4. I've just rolled 4 twos. What we got here? 11 for us. So there's a shadow across my thing. 11-6. We've won that round. Okay. We have a chance still. We need to win the next 2 rounds. We have 1 hit point left. It has 4. 8-3. Right. I'm going to get the camera on this because this is the all-important one. Oh, in case you can see the beer. Here we go. Can we see those? 5 and double 1. We've won. No, we've won. Oh, as the thing falls down. Started doing that. We lost 2 in a row, then won 3 in a row. Marvellous. We're alive with 1 hit point left. Turn to 52. The Cyclops falls to the ground, dead. Turn to 96. So we didn't fight Fernandez, did we? Thank you, my friend, says the old knight. You are a truly noble and honourable warrior. Between us we have rid the land of one of the foul giant brethren. Let us drink a toast together, Gordo. He calls. Where are you, man? Fernandez's cowardly manservant emerges from his hiding place and approaches his master. Give me the bottle of old Sarnax that we've got, the old man tells him. Here, my friend, he says, passing you the bottle. This will revitalize your spirits. You take a swig of the fortified wine and immediately feel its effects. Restore 4 stamina points and add 1 point to our attack strength for the next combat. Okay. While Gordo tends Don Juan's wounds, you waste no more time in returning to your original route to the temple. Turn to 226. That was... Well, thank you, Dice, for turning when you did. You scared me for a moment. Dusk falls, and you have not yet sighted the temple. Here on the fringes of the Desert of Skulls, the nights are as freezing as the days are scorching. If you have a Yoka egg, turn to 83. Otherwise, do you want to build a fire to keep you warm, assuming you have some means of lighting one? Or would you rather not risk attracting the attentions of any nocturnal hunters? Okay, we have an option here. Yoka egg, build a fire, because we do have a lantern, oil, and torches. Or do we stay in the dark? Yoka egg, fire, or dark? 2 votes for fire. 4 votes for fire. Old school gamers. Burn it. Burn it. If in doubt, burn it. Okay, so this looks to be a pretty unanimous make of fire. Okay. 190, 170, sorry, 170. Having constructed your fire, you settle down to sleep. Test your luck. Yep. Our luck is now down to 8. If you are lucky, the night passes peacefully. Restore 2 stamina points. Oh, that's getting better. And in the morning, having consulted Jaren's map once more, you head north towards a temple. Turn to 5. You have not travelled many kilometres before you reach the top of a ridge of a line of hills and find yourself looking out over a wide valley. The land drops steeply down to the sand-covered valley floor, and there, only a few hundred meters away, lie the fallen pillars and broken walls of a temple, half buried by the desert. At last you have found it. In front of the temple is a sparkling oasis, surrounded by palm trees. Its clear waters looking very inviting after your days of hot, dusty travel. Here you hope you will discover the location of Akaris's tomb. Where will we go first? The oasis or the ruined temple? Oasis or ruins? Nine minutes of the stream left. So, oasis or ruins? 2 votes for oasis, 2 votes for ruins so far. Iman thinks it's a mirage. Three votes for oasis. Any more votes? 3-3 now. 3 votes for ruins, 3 for oasis. Some might say the oasis might be a mirage. Bad dad joke. We'll find out little by little. We can see the ruins in all their morning glory. We're at 3-3 at the moment. I was never much of an Oasis fan. I thought they did the odd decent song. Hindu Times was a good record, but a lot of it sounded very samey. You wonder if the Oasis is just a wall. I'm not a Beatles fan either, to be honest. I know that's probably sacrilege, but I'm not. We're still at 3-3. So 3 for ruins, 3 for Oasis. Yeah, they did. I know they tried to. They ripped off the Beatles, didn't they? Right. Okay. I'm going to ask my my family members to make a. Holly. Holly. Oh, yeah. Oasis or ruins?
Ruins.
The wife says ruins. Okay. The wife has spoken. Holly's got earphones in, so she couldn't hear. So, going for the ruins. Blame the wife if this is wrong. Ah. All that remains of the temple are sections of crumbling stone walls and the occasional colonnade of rounded pillars. Broken statues of strange animal-headed deities protrude from heaps of drifted sand, while worn carvings adorn fallen stone slabs. An unnatural stillness pervades this place, and the only sound you can hear is the desert wind keening through ancient columns. Wandering among the ruins, you come to a part of the temple that is not in ruins. Entering the building, you discover that its interior is dimly lit by daylight streaming in through cracks in the roof. The walls of the temple are covered in stylized paintings of human and semi-human figures. A repeated theme appears to be that of a king praying, making offerings, or conversing with an assortment of gods and goddesses. At last you come to a chamber in which, carved on one wall, is a map of the area round the temple at the edge of the Desert of Skulls. Although it is recognizable as such, there are also several obvious differences. Pictures of buildings and other sites have been carved as part of the map. At the top of the wall, there's a duration inscription. You study the illustration to try to work out the location of Akaris's tomb. If you can, you will know how many. If you can, you will know how many kilometers it is to Akaris's tomb. Oh, right. Turn to the paragraph with the same number. Continue your adventure. Otherwise, your adventure ends here, as you know I have no idea where to start looking for the tomb. Okay. So, right. It appears to be a puzzle. I'm going to show you that. Can we work out from that how many kilometers it is to Akaris's tomb? Or have we just missed something which allows us to translate this? I have a feeling we've missed something. Anybody got any ideas? There's no scale. No. We didn't get any clues for this either. Should we have gone to see that shaman, when the right-hand fork, to learn this information? Perhaps. I have a feeling that might be where we went wrong. Perhaps, because I don't know how to decipher this. Yeah, maybe we should have read the scroll, perhaps, but we didn't get it, did we? But that ends our adventure because we have no way of deciphering that picture, which is a shame. we've been beaten by the curse of the mummy. Something, somewhere we've gone wrong. We haven't found the bit of information that's needed. So, as with last week, the book has filled the session absolutely perfectly, but there's no stab in the dark option. No, we've just missed the info. Last week we played Caverns of the Snow Witch, and we died about an hour and 3/4 ish. This one's 2 hours, so seems to be a bit of a pattern. Seas of Blood, we died twice in the first hour and a half, but hey ho. Right, so I am going to leave it there. We have hit the 1/4 to midnight mark anyway, so it's one of those Fridays where I've got work the next day. Maybe the scroll is the one. It's like a dungeon where 75% of it is hidden behind a secret door that the players never find. Or even the Tomb of Horrors, where so much was hidden. And there was even a fake ending. Anyway, I'll see a few of you tomorrow for the OSE game and the MERP game. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for contributing in chat. And I quite enjoyed that book. Yes, there was a lot of fights, and the fights were difficult. But I thought that was all right. I don't think that was too bad. Yeah. I'll run you through Tomb of Horrors. In fact, if anyone in the Discord and the channel has never played Tomb of Horrors, I probably should run it for people at some point. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Don't worry, Straw Piglet. Don't worry. There was a few lurkers tonight. A few lurkers. But cheers all. For those of you who I'll see tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. For those of you who come along next Wednesday, I'll see you then. Otherwise, I'll see you Friday. Cheers. Good night.